Emily is named Bob Stanford. I work with her. I know this is kind of a bad timing, but after all this, of course, I am referring to the one and only Jeremiah James Cotman. With a name that I swear ought to be a TV series. Jeremiah James Cotman. Anyway, I've thought long and hard for weeks about what I was going to say tonight, and it only all started coming out this morning. So I wrote it down, and I'm going to do you all a favor and read it, because it would take a lot longer if I tried to wing it. So, about Jeremiah. Well, as you know, I find him very handsome. I think he's a wonderful guy. And we have so enjoyed getting to know him over these last couple of years. We are so pleased and proud and honored to have him as a part of our family. He fits right in, and he did from right off the bat. I will borrow, and by the way, there was no chance at all that I was going to get through this without choking up a few times, and to let you know that right now, because one's coming. I will borrow something that my own father said many years ago about my wife Lori, when he said we couldn't love Jeremiah anymore if he was our own child. But it's fortunate that he isn't, because that would be kind of weird. Well, I love you to pieces, buddy. He's a good man with a good heart and obviously very good taste. Ever since I was a little boy, as long as I can remember, I have loved children, adored them. Even as a little boy, I never wanted anything more than I wanted to one day have my own kids, to be a dad. So when Miss Emily came along, she was a dream come true. And since that day on March 6th, 1989, she has never been anything less. I could go on and on about how wonderful Miami Bug is, but those of you here tonight from her side of the family already know that. And those of you from Jeremiah's side either already know or will have a blast finding out for yourself. Safe to say, and I know I speak for Lori as well, that she's been a constant joy. And we are so honored and grateful for the incredible fortune to be Miss Emily Mew's daddy and mommy. We've always been so proud of this gorgeous, one-of-a-kind, amazing young lady. And we are overjoyed that two such special individuals as Jeremiah and Emily have come together tonight as man and wife. I don't know this for a fact, but I've got a feeling that one day they're going to bless us with some kick-ass grandkids.
Amen.
But for now, I'd like to take just a couple more minutes to share with you some thoughts that have occurred to me over the past few days as I've tried to figure out how, in the blink of an eye, my daughter's gone from an adorable, extremely precocious little girl to the beautiful bride we see tonight. I had to smile and cry at the same time when I listened to Jim do such a wonderful job with the service this evening and mentioned that they have taken their individual journeys and combined them. Because I had something completely different in mind to say until this morning. And then it all changed. And this is what occurred to me. Everyone's life is a journey down a road they have never traveled before. When we're young, we tend to believe we can determine and dictate precisely how our journey will go, exactly where we will end up, and what route we will take to get there. And though it's usually a good thing to have a sense of direction and purpose, as we get a bit older, we come to realize that there is always so much along our travels that are outside of our control and beyond our ability to anticipate. We don't always know what's around the corner or just beyond our vantage point, but we can be sure of at least a couple things. First, our journey will include certain periods where the path is not as we had planned and not at all what we had hoped for. When we encounter these steep inclines, bumpy roads, and washed-down bridges, we have to determine whether the situation calls for the strength and determination to find a way around or through the obstacle in order to stay on course, or whether the situation calls for the flexibility and the faith to take a step back and contemplate another course altogether. I will say this, as I've traveled my own journey, and I've run into my difficult patches, I've always been grateful when I could face them with the help and support of someone who loves me and believes in me. Which brings me to the other thing we can count on during our otherwise unpredictable journey. No matter what path we're on, no matter how different our route is from what we previously intended, and no matter how challenging it can be at times, there is always beauty and joy to be found along the way. Sticky papers. You can miss that beauty and joy if you're not paying attention. But if you keep your eyes and your mind and your heart open, then wherever you are and wherever you're going, there will be some wonderful surprises along the way. And one of those surprises may well be the chance meeting of some special person who becomes the love of your life. Fortunately, one weekend a few years ago on the OSU campus, Jeremiah Cotman and Emily Dorrian were traveling along their respective journeys with their eyes wide open. And as a result, they found each other. Two passionate souls, two kind-hearted kindred spirits, who when they came together, made each other's worlds more delightful, made each other's fears and struggles more surmountable, made each other's dreams more attainable, and made each other more beautiful. Many years ago, as still a new dad, I felt exactly the same way as almost any father of a baby girl. I simply could not comprehend that one day I would not be the most important man in my princess's life. But over the years, my journey has taught me and prepared me for the fact that that is precisely how her journey and mine should evolve. In fact, it seems a bit ironical. I know that's not a real word. Just getting a laugh out of my daughter. But it's that very same powerful protective love I have always had and will always have for my Emmy bug that fills me with joy when I look at her tonight as a young woman and Jeremiah's stunningly beautiful new bride. That very same love now makes me happy to know that she has found another man who will cherish her and love her as deeply as I have these past 8,595 days of my life. I looked it up. After all, this young man didn't steal my little girl away. He won the heart of the beautiful woman she's become. And so, a toast. Today, we celebrate the fact that Emily and Jeremiah have chosen to combine their paths, to travel together down the same unfamiliar road. They've committed to be there for one another all along the way, to help each other, to stay on course when they can, and to rechart their courses when they must. But through it all, to continue their journey together. So Mr. and Mrs. Cotman, from this day forward, no matter what life may place in front of you, no matter where your path may take you, in the midst of every joyous discovery and in the middle of every difficult stretch, may the moment when you first felt that spark always seem like only yesterday. And may you always be mindful of the absolute treasure you found in each other, and forever grateful for the gift of traveling through the rest of your lives together. My name is Michael Gregory Dorrian, father of the bride, and I approve of this marriage.